selling officially at 15,500,000. Thank you for your patience, Natalie. It is history now. 15,500,000.
The world's most desirable watch wasn't always the case for the Rolex Daytona. To fully understand how the watch reached this point, we have to take a look at its past when the watch wasn't desirable at all. The Daytona proudly presents Cosmograph on the dial, which many believe is a nod to space. However, despite being chosen as a contender for one of the watches to go into space, the Daytona actually never made it. The Daytona is the only watch Rolex outsourced a movement for from the iconic Zenith El Primero. Yet despite all of its downfalls, it still somehow became the most collectible Rolex in the world. In fact, the Daytona is actually one of the top 2 most collectible watches in the world, alongside the Patek Nautilus 5711. Safe to say, marketing genius is an understatement when it comes to Rolex. Do they have the best watches in the world? Well, no. Yet if you ask anyone who isn't an enthusiast who makes the best watches in the world, they'll most likely say Rolex. In fact, Rolex marketing is so crazy that many know what Rolex is despite never seeing one or even knowing what it even looks like. That's how crazy Rolex marketing is. Many factors play into the Daytona's popularity, although the biggest contribution has to be from the 6263 reference. You know the one, the Paul Newman. Paul Newman's 1968 Rolex Daytona sold for $15.5 million. Now, including buyer's premium of 12.5%, the final price came to $17,752,500, the world's most expensive Rolex ever sold. The previous record for a Rolex at auction was set in May when the Baodai Rolex sold for $5 million. Of course, after the auction, well, a little bit before the auction, the Daytona has been rising in popularity because of the 6263 Paul Newman. However, before influencers, in 1964 to be exact, the Daytona was sold under the name Le Mans. It was actually pretty tough to sell at the time. Later after that, it was renamed Daytona after the famous speedway, and obviously another genius marketing from Rolex. So that way, despite not making it to space, they're able to market their watch as a racing watch, and also it's to promote their sponsorship with the 24-hour at Daytona race. The modern Daytona still carries the Daytona aesthetic, but with more modern materials such as the use of ceramic, solid bracelets, and of course the new automatic 4130. Even though it doesn't necessarily look like the vintage Daytonas, it still carries that DNA. The same DNA as the 6263 Paul Newman, which keeps even the modern Daytona some of the most desirable watches in the world. This specific model, the 116500LN, is available at exquisite.timepieces.com. They have a lot of really cool pre-owned watches, but they're an authorized dealer for a lot of brands such as Omega, Breguet, Blompa, and Grand Seiko, so make sure you check them out. And when you do, mention the channel, mention that you heard about them from Watch Collecting Strategy, and that way they will hook you up over there at Exquisite Timepieces, so check out their website. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this watch, and I will see you guys in the next one.